President Trump had already endorsed the Republican candidate in New Jersey's governor's race. Now, the president is all in for Jack Ciattarelli. A source has told Fox News the president will be holding tele-rallies for Ciattarelli, who is running a close race with his Democrat challenger, Mikey Sherrill. It would be a huge upset in a blue state if Jack Ciattarelli were to win, and also a major victory for the Trump White House ahead of the midterm elections. Some of Ciattarelli's momentum could be coming from all the controversies that have plagued Mikey Sherrill's campaign. Most recently, the accusation that Mikey Sherrill took tens of thousands of companies from those who were linked to the opioid crisis as she went after Ciattarelli over his alleged connection to that very same crisis. Here's Jack Ciattarelli.
There's a pattern here. We see it with her not being allowed to walk at her graduation ceremonies at the Naval Academy, broke federal law for stock trades and stock reporting, can't explain how it is that she tripled her net worth in only 6 years' time in Congress. This is a very desperate candidate who's ill-prepared and unqualified for the job. And the entire campaign has been based on a stack of lies about me, her disdain for the president, and that she can fly a helicopter, none of which is going to fix New Jersey.
Well, that really stands out, that part about not being able to walk on graduation day in Naval Academy. I mean, what gets you into that hot water? Anyway, a new Fox opinion piece is titled "The New Jersey Governor's Race Could Show the GOP How to Win in Midterms." And here's part of it. Ciattarelli is running on a platform that promises to oppose sanctuary cities, reject cashless bail for violent and repeat offenders, cap property taxes, and create a parents' bill of rights. In other words, Jack Ciattarelli is taking on some of the worst Democrat policies left behind by ex-President Biden. His approach is working with New Jersey voters. Power panel now. Mehek Cook, Republican strategist. Yemisi Egbewole, former chief of staff to the Biden White House press office. Great to see you both. Yemisi, I'm going to start with you. Look, this race has tightened yesterday on Outnumbered. We had the latest polling show. They're about 4 points apart. That is very tight.
Yeah, it's tight, especially given that Harris was able to win that state by over 5 percentage points just a few months ago. Mikey Sherrill really has to lock in a bit more here. She's had a few stumbles in interviews, and I know that there were some awkward moments in the debate overall. Look, now that Trump is jumping into this race, she has a chance to really connect with more of the suburban voters that were not endeared to Trump last year and to really tie Jack Ciattarelli to him. I mean, one of the things she has to do is lock in on her answers when it comes to her naval record, lock in when it comes to speaking about her own finances. I mean, now is not the time to make these small mistakes.
Look, if you can't tell the public where $7 million in stock trades came up, if you can't talk about the actual money in your own bank accounts, that's a problem in a state that's taxed as heavily as New Jersey, that the current mayor said last time, Mehek, that if taxes are your thing, Jerseys aren't your state. Like, it was a mess for him around that issue. Mehek.
Well, 100%, Harris. And this is where President Trump is actually delivering a master class in how Republicans can turn the tide in the midterms. And all you have to do is follow the America First blueprint. President Trump has put a plan in place, and Jack Ciattarelli is actually executing it. He's talking about tax relief for New Jersey. He's talking about ensuring we end sanctuary cities and carbon tax schemes that are taking millions of dollars from voters. And more importantly, it's about crime and accountability and affordability, and that's exactly what he's delivering. Mikey Sherrill, the problem with her is she can't answer the questions because she's going to have to tell the truth. And the truth is she has shamed Americans. She has built millions of dollars entering into Congress, and she can't speak for where that money came from. It's called insider trading, let's be honest. And on top of that, she has continued to lie to the American people. She is not who she says she is, and her resume is falling apart like a house of cards.
And again, that RCP average poll that we had yesterday, 4%, that is very close for somebody who had the wind at her back in double digits not that long ago. Just some other new numbers on fundraising in this race. Jack Ciattarelli has received more in-state donations than Mikey Sherrill, has raked in more from out-of-state donors. Yemisi, what does that tell you about the fundraising portion of this?
Well, like you were talking about, she had the wind at her back. I think there was high excitement for her in this race at the top, and it seems that she's kind of hit a road bump here. I really think that the people that she has got to connect with the most are people who right now don't feel that they can trust politicians. And I'm not so sure about the road to the election day for her if she doesn't turn it around very quickly.
All right. Last word on this from you, Mehek.
Look, I think the hypocrisy is stunning, and the American people aren't going to fall for what she's selling. She's already been in office. She showed that she's a failure, and she doesn't know how to even account for her own money. So how is she going to account for affordability for New Jerseyans today? That's the bottom line today, Harris.
Well, President Trump is tearing into Democrat socialist Zohran Mamdani and doubling down on threats to withhold federal money from New York if Mamdani wins the mayor race. Watch this.
If somebody's going to be a communist mayor of New York, it's a fluke if he gets in. He's down and dirty. He's a communist. He hates police. He wants to get rid of all police. I mean, how can a policeman? He hates Jewish people. I wouldn't be generous to a communist, a guy that's going to take the money and throw it out the window, because you're talking about hundreds of billions of dollars. And we're not going to let somebody get into office and squander the taxpayer money from this country. We're not going to let it happen.
This follows New York Governor Kathy Hochul's decision to back Mamdani and take on Trump.
I'll fight like hell to make sure that doesn't happen. No one should ever root against our country. You should not root against New York City. Everyone in this country should be vested in the success of New York City. I'll certainly be having those conversations and pointing out that this is detrimental to his properties, his business interests, his friends in the city, and a whole way of life that I know that perhaps someday he'll even come back to.
Meanwhile, a Fox News review of New York City campaign finance records is raising some questions about Zohran Mamdani's compliance. The report shows his campaign accepted nearly $13,000 in foreign donations. Yemisi, your reaction.
Some of that money came from family members that he had overseas. I think even if he returns those small dollar donations, which the campaign has already promised to do, they've returned 5,000 of those dollars. He still outpaces Andrew Cuomo, and he's still in the lead in this, and he is going to be the next mayor of New York City.
Mehek.
I think New Yorkers really have to brace themselves because President Trump has the legal authority to hold that funding, Harris. He's done it before. The Supreme Court in a 6-3 decision said Trump has the authority to withhold funding. And when you're not allowing for crime reduction and you're continuing to pound Hamas strategies and anti-Israel and crime-ridden strategies in New York City, President Trump's drawing a red line here today and saying he will not fund a man who's radical.
I want to thank you both for being part of the Power Panel.